Hello everyone, welcome to Source Classes. This is Tushar Shaw, and in this video we'll be reviewing the book Textbook of Physical Chemistry Volume 2. Okay, so we have already discussed the Volume 1. I have already reviewed that book, and it was like if you have seen that video, you know already that this Kapoor versions of all the volumes from 1 to 6. Though these are like the Bible of physical chemistry, and if you have these books as your main textbooks, then you won't be requiring any other books for that purpose only. Okay, so like no reference book as such, nothing as such, only you require to go through this book thoroughly, as simple as that. Okay, everything you need to know, everything you can solve, everything that you can in your syllabus in physical chemistry, be it any kind of exam, be it your university exam, or your you may say the competitive exams like JEE, NET, GATE. Okay, so for all those kinds of exams, this book is quite enough for you to read through and get hold of all of the concepts that are there, included in the chapters that are given. Okay, so as I have told you already, so you can let me just show it again. Because we are starting the book with the name of the chapter, so we have to discuss again and again what are the chapters like in the different volumes. So we'll be continuing with that. So in volume 1 it was states of matter and ions in solution. It was already done in the last video. So volume 2 is basically thermodynamics and chemical equilibrium. Okay, so basically the thermodynamics, which is an extremely large part, the largest part of you may say comparable to quantum mechanics. So the largest part of physical chemistry is thermodynamics and chemical equilibrium. Basically they are combined to each other. Okay, so this part is like very properly explained in this book. You, as we will be proceeding in the video, you can see that obviously such huge information, such compactness and the briefness of this book, I personally recommend you referring to all of the 6 volumes. Okay, all of the 6 volumes for each and every topic that is given to you in this book. Okay, so it won't be like a hectic job for you to take notes out of different books, different journals, different professors, different tuitions, nothing as that. Basically, if you follow this book, you won't be requiring tuitions also. Okay, so volume 3 has application of thermodynamics, which we'll be discussing in the next video, coming videos. Okay, then we have quantum chemistry, dynamics of chemical reactions, statistical thermodynamics, and then we have the computational aspects of physical chemistry. Okay, now as I've already explained in the last video, volume 6 is only required if you are a MSc chemistry student. Okay, MSc student. Why? Because from any undergraduate level in any of the universities or any competitive exams, the computational aspects of physical chemistry is excluded from the undergraduate syllabus. Okay, so undergraduate syllabus of basically all major universities in India, and all competitive exams that occur in the undergraduate level. Okay, so computational aspects is just in the postgraduate level, that is the masters, and this would be coming in your net gate examination. So if you are a master student, and if you are preparing for net or gate, this volume 6 will be proven useful for you. Okay, other than that, volume 6 is not so much required. So still I'll be reviewing all the books, as obviously all the books are completely important if you are studying for net gate, and my aim is not to just focus on one exam or on one topic. My aim is to overall cover the all aspects of chemistry which is possible. Okay, be it the topic wise discussion, be it the exam wise discussion. Okay, so obviously, so the name of the professor is KL Kapoor, the former associate head of department former associate professor of Hindu College of University of Delhi. Okay, so if you are an Indian and if you study, like if you are in Delhi, and if this book does help you, you might go and give him a meet. Okay, that won't be a problem, obviously. So, and or you can see that this book is published by McGraw Hill Education India Private Limited. So basically, this is a basically like foreign publisher. It is a startup of foreign, but it has its branch in India, which is in New Delhi, and that New Delhi branch has printed this book. So though it is like a mentioned foreign book, but actually it is an Indian author, Indian printed, Indian published book. Okay, so like you can get this book on any of the bookstores available in your area. Basically, I am from Kolkata. I know that College Street. You can easily get this book. Okay, and if you are not able to find this book, you can obviously get this book from internet, Amazon, Flipkart, because though they keep all kinds of book in their like in their list, so you can get all these books too. And if you don't require to buy the book, you can get the PDF from me. My email is tusharshaw9420 @gmail.com. Okay, I've already given my email in the earlier videos. So if you want this book, I just send me an email. I'll be sending you all the volumes of the PDF that is with me. So then you can refer to that. Okay, so let us move on. Uh, I'm not reading the preface, obviously, very obvious. So let us now look at the contents. So firstly, introduction to thermodynamics, the scope of thermodynamics, why it is used, what are the basic definitions, what is the mathematical background, how we'll be applying mathematics in thermodynamics. Now, the IUPAC convention of work and heat. This part, I don't think I have studied a lot of physical chemistry books in my whole life. I don't think the IUPAC convention of work and heat is more properly explained in any other book than this one. Okay, now you may say that why am I emphasizing on this one? So this confusion related to the sign convention of work and heat, this is basically a nightmare for a student, for those who are studying in physical chemistry for the first time. Those are like taking thermodynamics for the first time. Okay, so I would recommend to leave each and every book if you're studying thermodynamics, and just refer to this book only, because there, I guess, um, obviously we have just started discussing more silent features, more pros of this book are there, which we will be discussing on hand. So in terms of work and heat, I guess the most less confusing part of in way it is explained in this book. Okay, then we have work involved in expansion and compression process. We know the formula W is equal to minus nRT ln V2 by V1. Okay, so that formula is derived over there. Then we have this, what is reversible and irreversible processes. You have to learn that, obviously. Okay, then we have this zeroth and first law. So basically zeroth law of thermodynamics, just two paragraphs thing. Then the first law of thermodynamics, proof of being in exact functions. Now what is in exact function, what is in some in order differentials, those kinds of stuff. Then we have the change of internal energy, enthalpy relation between heat capacities, basically Cp minus Cv equal to a nr. Okay, then we have this very important Joule's experiment and Joule-Thomson's experiment. From these parts derivation arise many times, and normally these are not included for sums, because for sums you have all the formulas related to those internal energy and enthalpy from the first law. So if any questions come from the first law, it is likely there is no chances of coming it from these experiments. Okay, then we have the Joule-Thomson coefficient from the van der Waals equation of state. Then the thermodynamics changes in all the types of changes in isothermal variation of ideal gas, adiabatic variation of ideal gas, isothermal and adiabatic variation of ideal gas. That is the comparison between them. You will be getting a graph with two plots over them. Okay, so these kind of plots will be obtained. Anyways, then we have the thermodynamic change in isothermal variation of van der Waals gas, the adiabatic variation of van der Waals gas, and then numerical miscellaneous numericals. Okay. So as I've already told you in my last video, that was the review of volume one of this set of books. So the thing that I told was the number of questions that were given in this book. Like, this is a major pro about this book, that is huge amount of questions are given. So if you are like newcomer student, and you want to, like, if you have studied the whole chapter as such, you have practiced that, and if you want to like enhance your knowledge, you can check the knowledge of the knowledge that you have acquired by the studying. So you can check that by the help of the questions that is given in this book. Okay, so questions, basically, I may by questions I mean all of the, you can go check out the last video as I've explained. I'll be explaining it to you in a few minutes. That in the miscellaneous questions that is given in this book, among that there are many questions that are theory based, derivation based, and there are many questions numerical based too. Okay, so but you won't be facing any problem regarding any questions that is given to you in any of the competitive or non-competitive exams, because all of the questions, all of the topics, all of like everything is covered in the in this book, from starting from each and every concepts, each and every topics to numerous amounts of questions and numericals. Okay, so yeah. Let us move on to the next topic, that is thermochemistry. So basically, thermochemistry is the just the extension of first law of thermodynamics in chemical reactions. Okay. So what is enthalpy of a substance? We have to calculate the delta H formation. Okay. Then we have the change in enthalpy during a reaction, the enthalpy of a reaction, how to determine the exothermic and endothermic nature of the reaction, what will be the enthalpy looking like. Okay. Then we have the enthalpy of formation, delta H formation, as I was saying. In the Hess's law, the constant heat summation, various types of enthalpies and reactions, bond enthalpies, and the most important thing, Kirchhoff relation. Okay. So basically, Kirchhoff relation is the most important thing, and normally many numericals arise from this part. Like if you are getting a like every year, I can guarantee you that every year in each and every competitive exam, if it has thermodynamics in its syllabus, one or more than one questions will be there from Kirchhoff relations. Okay, because basically it is chemistry and we are dealing with chemical reactions, and there is a chapter thermochemistry which involves the which like tells us about the thermodynamics of chemical reactions. So even if we are getting proper numerical questions of the normal enthalpy, entropy, those kind of stuff, but still one question with regards to the chemical reaction will be given to you in each and every exam, I can guarantee you that. Okay. Then we have this second law of thermodynamics. Again, I just forgot the diabetic flame temperature. This is also required, so this is also quite properly explained. Then we have the second law of thermodynamics. Okay. Now from this part you can see that a huge amount of information is given already. So in the second law of thermodynamics you can see that it is like a huge chunk of chapter in this there. Okay, and each and every step that is there, it is like very properly explained, like each and every topic is very properly explained. Firstly, the second law, why a second law is required, the Carnot cycle, the efficiency of a Carnot cycle denoted by eta, statement of the second law, how the efficiency of a Carnot cycle is independent of working substance, very important. Then the comparison of efficiencies of reversible and irreversible process, thus stating that reversible process, a proper a 100% reversible process does not exist. Okay. So thermodynamic Kelvin scale of temperature. Then we have the definition of entropy, delta S, extremely important. Then we have the for irreversible cyclic process, the Clausius inequality, state of entropy comes from the first law of thermodynamics, delta S will be derived from the first law of thermodynamics. Then we have the characteristics of entropy function. Then entropy as a function of temperature and volume, S as a function of temperature and volume. Then we have S as a function of temperature and pressure. Entropy for ideal gas, entropy for Van der Waals gas, standard state of entropy in ideal gas, entropy and disorderliness. Okay, so basically entropy is another form of disorderliness, so it is like also quite properly explained in this book. Okay, then we have the entropy change in isothermal expansion and compression of gas, entropy change in adiabatic expansion and compression of ideal gas. Okay, and entropy change in few typical cases in the third law. And basically the like this chapter, we when we say third law, we involve the Gibbs free energy, Helmholtz free energy, those kinds of concepts are included. But the second in the second law, the thermodynamics part, the only concern of this part is to give explanation about the second law of thermodynamics, that is basically involved in the just in the delta S or the entropy part of the system. Okay. Then we move on to the equilibrium criteria of A and G, where A is the Helmholtz energy and G is the Gibbs free energy. The relation between delta G and delta S in isothermal adiabatic process. So delta G, we calculate gas free energy in a chemical equation. Then we have the following data for A and G relationship between the formation of delta D, for any formation of any chemical substance, what would be delta G and delta A values. Okay. Then we have the fugacity and its determination, then the temperature dependence of free energy, then the resume concerning all of the thermodynamic factors that we introduced in the last chapters. Okay. Then we have this miscellaneous Brigade formula to write the expression of the partial derivatives. A simple formula is there given to you, so you can just explain. But there are many formulas for the involved when the delta G and delta A are involved. Okay, huge amount of formulas are there, and obviously for solving numericals, you have to keep them memorized as well. Okay, so there is the formula Brigman's formula to write the expression of all of the partial derivatives, and then therefore you can from that formula only you can like if you are given a numerical as such, you can solve those. Okay. Huh. Then we have the system of variable composition, that is partial molar quantities. Like in this case, in all of these cases, above cases, we have been taking only a specific component of a system, and we have been giving a study on that. Okay, but in this case, we will be taking variable composition of different substances, and then we will be studying the thermodynamics out of it. So then a new term arises, partial molar quantities. Okay, delta G is named as chemical potential. Okay. Then we have this escaping tendency, the chemical potential of a gas, the chemical potential of a mixture in ideal gas, the additivity rule, and the most important Gibbs-Duhem equation. So basically, from this part, many numericals arise. So you have to from the variable composition, these parts you need to give focus on, give emphasis on, and try to solve as many questions as possible so as to perfect your for your grab on this chapter. Okay. Then we have the thermodynamics of chemical reactions, that is basically the kpkc values, all of those substances. Okay, so for chemical reaction we require the reaction potential, the equation of kp, the dynamic equilibrium, the how qp and kp are related. Then we have the Leach-Atelier principle, very important. Questions arise from not numerical question. Leach-Atelier principle is basically a concept, and from that many a times questions arise. Okay, like Leach-Atelier principle is favorite of the JEE examinations. Okay, that is that occurs in after the class 12. So in every year, at least one question from the Leach-Atelier principle is asked, because it is a theoretical thing, not a intense formula, and it is like very easy to understand. Like not so easy, but tricky to understand. But if you understand, you will be able to solve questions as such. Okay, so that is why it is not included in the JEE level more often than the JAM or NET or GATE level. Okay. Then we have the effect of inert gas on equilibrium, the general treatment of the reaction in progress, the characteristics of the homogeneous gases in the reaction, and the few more important homogeneous gaseous reactions. Okay. Then we have the miscellaneous numericals, obviously, and after that the chemical equilibrium in ideal solution is a small part that is given, and then after that the book is completed. Okay. So this was all about the contents of this book. That is basically the explanations regarding what are the contents, and detailed explanations and all of the substance that are given in this book in obviously in this book. Okay, so let us now move into the body of this book, and let us go through each of the things that are given to us. So first of all, scope of thermodynamics. As I have already explained it to you, let me just point it out again in this video, that this book is so perfect in terms of what you can see, that basic definition was the topic, that was the subtopic under the chapter. Okay, then in under that topic there are more subtopics defining different paragraphs. Okay, like if this paragraph is given for the definitions of system, so it is the system is written on the right hand side, so that you can identify that this paragraph is given for this particular topic. Okay, like this book is that precise and that brief, you can say. Then we have the surroundings, the boundary, state variables. All of them are explained in different paragraphs, so like it will be like easy for you to say, let us say if you are trying to find any part of the book that is the you need to understand that part, you can just open the part from the contents. Obviously the contents is also well defined. From that you don't need to like study the whole topic. If the topic is like of 5 pages, you don't need to study the whole topic. You don't need to look at the whole formulas. You need to first study a specific part of that. There are subtopics given in the left hand side of the book, so you may just go through that and you may select which topic you want to study, and then you can proceed on your own accordingly. Okay. So I won't be going to details much. Let me just scroll it to you. And another pro that I already mentioned in my last video about this book. So one pro I would like to mention again here. That is, you can first of all see that so many numerical examples are given. Okay, like so many derivative examples, numerical examples, all kinds of examples, all kinds of questions that are possible to create in this chapter. They have given examples of, firstly they have given examples of that, and then they have given huge amount of questions of that also. Okay, and that is the reason why I like this book. Basically, if you have been following my videos since in the solver classes since a quite long time now, you already know that I am a very question based person. Basically, I don't believe in just giving the theory a read, practicing the theory, doing the numericals, and given on its own, and just let it go. Okay, when I practice something, I need to make sure that I am perfect at it. Okay, and that can be only done via questions. Okay, so that is why like to rely on questions for that purpose. And in this book for physical chemistry, I just follow this set of six book only, because the whole 90% of the physical chemistry syllabus are covered by these 6 volumes only. And why I prefer this 6 volumes over any other standard physical chemistry book? First of all, because they are compact and brief. They have given each and every info that is required for any of the competitive exams. You cannot just claim that no such information for a specific topic was given, because I have checked it thoroughly. No such info is missing. Each and every topic is given. Okay, and lastly, the main thing is huge amount of questions is given, so that I would like to scroll and show it to you. So you can see that for each and every derivative steps, you have graph explaining the derivations, all those kinds of things. Okay, so you can see that there are revisionary problems which are mm, 15 in number. Then we have again these revisionary problems were of theoretical and derivation based. Then we have try it yourself questions which are also theoretical and derivation based. So here we had 15 questions, and then here we have 16 questions. Okay, so this chapter has no formula as such. Very few amount of formulas are there. So they have included the sums also. Like you can see that this sum, they have included the sums also in the try yourself section. So you can see that 15 questions there and 16 questions here, which means 31 questions from just a small part. Nothing. This the introduction chapter of thermodynamics basically holds nothing. No, like only 2 or 3% of the whole thermodynamics syllabus that we are about to study. Okay, and from that only they have given us 31 questions, which are like more than enough for practicing the introduction only. Okay, like for practicing introduction you won't be requiring this much questions also. Like it is like pointless if you are if you want to solve these much questions, these much questions, but it is not required. But though it is given, we will be it will be like better for you if you practice and make a good grip on it. Okay, then we have the zeroth law and the first of thermodynamics. This is a very big chapter, so I'm not showing you the chapter enough, because obviously this chapter is very big, quite properly explained. You can see that all the subtopics and derivations are given. Okay, no, I won't be going into details of the body. So the only thing that I would like to see make you see that the derivations are given quite properly. And if you require this book, if you want to go through, you can just mail me. I've already given my mail earlier in this video, so you can go through that also. Okay, The one thing that I would like to show you, that obviously this is a big chapter, so it would be having so many numericals. So let me just scroll down to that only. Okay. First of all, you can see that the chapter is completed over here. Just a second. Yeah. So the chapter is completed over here. Here we complete the chapter, whole chapter. Like in between there are numerous, many numericals, many derivation types questions. Like I can guarantee you, if you scroll up the whole chapter and count each and every question that is given, probably 25-30 questions are given as numericals only, like examples only, basically. Then we have, again we have this, like after the chapter is finished, we have this questions, number of questions. You can see one, two, you can see such a huge question is there. Then we have miscellaneous numericals, that this also is given as examples. Okay, so many examples. Then we have revisionary problems, which is basically involved in theory and derivation based part. So you can see that uh, 19 questions are revisionary. Then we have again try yourself problems, which are theory and derivation based. So we have 20, 24 and 19, which is basically 35. Okay, did I say it right? 45 basically. So 45 questions are just from the theory and the derivation based questions. Okay, just theory and derivation based. Other than that, you have numericals. There are 22 big numericals are there, which are like more than enough if you are practicing this thermodynamics part. Okay, so like I won't be like stopping and like seeing enough that I basically love this book for physical chemistry, and I follow for my studies, for my higher studies, I would be following this book only, because the compactness and the briefness of this book and the availability of questions for practicing your way of approach toward this book is like quite amazing. Okay, and that is the main quality I like the most in this book. So I would be sticking to that. I would recommend that you stick to this book too. Okay, so you can see like one more example I would like to show you, that thermochemistry. We have already discussed that it is a very small chapter, not so many pages are there. Okay, though huge examples are given, but that comparatively from the first law and the second law thermodynamics, this is a small chapter. Okay, examples are given. I'm not going to the examples. You can see that Kirchhoff's relation is there. Okay, then let us go to the questions. So revisionary problems, you are given so many questions, you can see. Then try it yourself problems, 10 questions are given from the try it yourself problems. Basically you can see that in this chapter nothing as such is need to be conceptualized or derived. Okay, because this chapter is basically reaction based, and we have all the concepts that are required for studying in these reactions we have already discussed in the last chapter, that is first law. Okay, still from the reaction perspective they have given 10 questions from so many sub questions in the revisionary, and 10 questions in the normal theory and derivation based. Okay, then in the numericals you can see 1 2 3 4, so just from this small chapter 22 numericals are there. Okay, just from this small chapter 22 numericals are given. Okay, so this I would consider as a pro, obviously. So let me just scroll that down for you, and then we'll be completing this book review. I won't be like do not want to like give emphasis on each and every chapter, because that would take too long and it would be quite pointless, because you have already now from the examples you have already understood what kind of chapter this what kind of book this is. So like it will be easy for you to judge. Okay, you can see so many derivations are there. Huh. So the one more, the thing that are given is appendix 1, which is the value of thermodynamic properties. All the values are given, delta A, delta G for certain substances. Basically, this is required for numericals and nothing as such, because you won't be performing this data on your laboratory. Okay, you are just given this data for numericals. So that is one thing. Then we have the bond formation, approximate bond enthalpies, molar heat capacities of different substances. Then the unit and conversion factor, which I would be happy that it is given in this book, because many students usually face this unit conversion problem, and not many books have this problem solved with giving this different appendix for units and conversion factors. Okay, so this is also one of the pros of this book that I would like to address. And you can see that how so many conversions are given. Okay, so and here we now come to the index of this book. So let us end this video here. I hope you have gotten good knowledge about this book, about how this book can help you in your studies, and how it can extrapolate good knowledge from you. Okay, so I would like to end my video here. So thank you guys for this video. I'll see you guys in the next one. And the next video we will be reviewing volume 3, which is basically, I forgot the volume, but we will be discussing that. Okay, so thank you.